Okay, Rabbi says, so mamish in Mishlei, b'siyata d'shmaya, and we spent significant time yesterday on, thank you, appreciating, listening to our father, listening to our mother. I'd like to go now into the next section here, which says the following. This is verse number 9. Amen. We're actually going to speak about jewelry and women's jewelry. Interesting topic. Maybe you didn't expect that one. Says Mishlei.
Rabbi, just before we get into it, you said women's jewelry. Is there such thing as men's jewelry?
There is.
Okay.
And the Gemara goes through what those pieces are. And it's very relevant when it comes to the topic of carrying on Shabbos, if you're allowed to carry or not. Because if something is part of your clothing, then it's not called carrying. This is very nogea when it came to us this Shabbos. When we went on the hike, you had to know, am I allowed to carry this or not? So,
surely
yeah.
watches are going to be an issue.
Why surely? Depends.
Surely it's going to be an issue.
Surely it's going to be an issue.
Well, if it is,
It has to be. Is this part of the clothing of the man? So it goes through different things. It says that a man may have like a signet ring, like a king would have a ring that he would emboss. That would be like a thing. Or maybe like you have a Super Bowl ring. You know. Maybe that's a man's jewelry nowadays, Super Bowl ring. But let's speak a little bit about women's jewelry for a bit. Ki livias Chaim. Everything we've been talking about of Chachma and Musar, of really becoming wise people, and then having the Musar to turn ourselves into people that are righteous. These will accompany you. They will be a livias Chaim. They're an adornment of grace. L'roishecha, for your head. Ve'anokim legargiroisecha, and they will be like a chain necklace for your neck. So it's interesting. King Solomon is comparing you learning everything that this book is here to teach us about stop being fools and becoming wise, and how to do that through Lodas Chachma Musar. That if you actually live with these things, they will start adorning you. And you'll walk around with them. There'll be an adornment, a livias chaim, of grace for your head, and they will be a type of necklace for your neck. So what is the idea here of these two symbols? Of one will be something that will be on your head, and one will be something that will be on your neck. Yeah, Yosef?
So, the neck is usually like what passes down like everything from your head to the rest of your body, and I guess on a higher level, like we could say, like it's like the way you would integrate like wisdom into like your actions, like.
So it's not enough that it's in my head; it has to go and be adorned in my neck, that I'm able to speak that truth and live that truth.
Yes, like the Hasidim, they don't wear ties because it's like a neck girdle.
That's
like
right. We put the girdle, lower.
Yes, you don't want to cut off your upper half from your lower half. Or you want to cut off your upper half from your lower half. You don't want to cut off your head from the rest
That's
of
right. I
your
want the
body.
head and the heart to be connected.
Yes. So
if you were only adorned in your head, then that would be what? That you would know a lot, but it would not be passing in to your body. So the adornment on your neck is adorning that which is then moving. This is not medical advice, but I really think that there's challenges in people's thyroids nowadays because we're not speaking our truth. We haven't adorned our neck. The ladas chochma musar. It's interesting. Where does das find its place in the entire body anatomy? Is in the neck. So the whole Mishlei begins with what? Mishlei Shlomo. These are the analogies of Solomon ben David, Melech Yisro. And the first word is ladas, is to get into the neck. We need to be able to speak our truth. To get into the neck, that's das. Let's go. I want to tell you something that the Malbim explains. The Malbim says very basically, he says that the head symbolizes thought, while the neck symbolizes speech. So Musar teachings will adorn an individual's thoughts and speech. So if you really learn Musar properly, it's not only that you'll be somebody that will refine your thoughts, you'll be somebody whose speech, which is coming from the neck, will become more refined and pure. And you really can tell the difference. I think it's one of the first things the guys notice when they come to yeshiva. Because all of a sudden they feel like people seem to speak a bit differently around here. And I don't know if this happened to you, but all of a sudden one of the guys in the dorms and this, and the person says a curse word. I said, oh, bro, yo, my ears. It hurts. It hurts. Why does it hurt so much? Because you realize, like, oh, nah. And I know it's so trendy nowadays that people just, they speak like this. Because they say, I don't care, I just say whatever I want. It's beneath you. It's beneath you. You don't have to speak that way. It's beneath. It makes you relatable to the peeps. Let's elevate everybody. Let's elevate the whole world out of that. The Torah speaks b'lashon naki. The Torah has no curse words. The Torah is very clean. And the greatest people, you hear their speech is very clean. So the ladas, chachma u'musar will adorn your thoughts and also adorn your speech. The Vilna Gaon takes this one step further, because we're learning Mishlei with the Vilna Gaon. And the Vilna Gaon takes this another step. He quotes an amazing Yushalmi in Shabbos. And the Vilna Gaon says the following. He says, in the days of the Talmudic sages, and now we're getting to women's jewelry. And I always think when a person's asking for career advice, this is not financial advice. If people ask for career advice, I say you should maybe think about the things that haven't got out of style for a few millennia. Because probably there'll still be a business. If it's already been going for a few millennia, likely will continue. Like real estate and women's jewelry. Women will always want jewelry. You can quote me on that. No. My wife's chick different. She's not like into that stuff. Just wait. You'll see. Women's jewelry is a big thing. So, and it's rightfully theirs. It's for them to adorn themselves, and it's very important for a woman. So the Vilna Gaon says something very amazing. He says, in the early days of the great Jewish masters, it was customary that you'd make jewelry for your wife according to her spiritual qualities. That's kind of interesting, right? That the men would have custom designed jewelry that they would make for their wives. And there was two main categories of jewelry that they would make. Either head jewelry or neck jewelry. Why would they make head jewelry? They would make head jewelry if they felt that their wife was somebody who had exceptionally special qualities in her intellect. So they would make jewelry that was positioned for the head, and somebody who felt that his wife had exceptional qualities in her good deeds and her speech, they would make her neck jewelry. Now, why would they make head jewelry in a certain way and neck jewelry in a certain way? So the Vilna Gaon points out that look at the languaging. Ki livias chen heim l'roishecha, that's in singular, your head. And a necklace, legar geroisecha, is plural. So they would make neck jewelry as separate pieces, but they would make head jewelry as one piece. Because in the mind, they were hinting to the fact that the unity of the mind was something very special and unique. So it's one piece. Whereas the neck, which was the speech and good deeds, were many little pieces all put together. That's what the Vilna Gaon says. That's why it's in plural, the necklace jewelry. Now, Rav Hirsch points out that everything we're learning here is really a continuation of what we just saw, of listening to a father and a mother. And he says the following thing. He says when he approaches adulthood, when a person gets bigger, he can easily think that he's become better educated and more intelligent than his mother and rebel against his father's demands. Therefore, he's advised always to accept his father's education and not abandon his mother's lessons. An adult is considered a person of independent judgment whose head, Roshecha, his head, rests maturely on his neck, Gargaroisecha, meaning the seat of mental ability and the controlling factor of one's creative and active being in the neck. But even an adult is obliged to follow his father's teachings. This applies to what one has learned from his father in both the past and the present. They should be a person's most precious ornament, complementing his own intellectual ability, meaning he has an awareness and then he's complementing it. It's being adorned on top of that. We're going to be going on to the next section here. And Shlomo Melech is essentially about to take us more into the Sefer. And he's going to essentially bring us into a world where we're going to see the allure of the dark side. He's about to explain to us everything that I'm teaching you. Why do I need to teach this to you? Because there's going to be this allure from people that are not going in these ways that will be very attractive. And I'm trying to guide you not to fall into their bad ways. So essentially what he's going to do in the next section here, he's going to pull us into the world of the dark side, how it works, how they're trying to incite you to do something, and then how to resist those temptations. So really, verse 10 is beginning a whole new move. And he's going to paint a scenario for us, and he's also going to give you the warning of how to be careful of these negative influences. So it says verse 10, Bini, my son. Shlomo is speaking to us like a son. He's not just speaking to his kids. He's talking to you and I, Bini, which is so beautiful. You read this like Bini, Tati, Shlomo, Abba, Toda. Bini, my son. Im yefatucha chatoyim al tavo. My child, if sinners entice you, do not consent. So he's setting it up. You're going to be enticed. There's going to be people in this world that are going to say, yo, get involved in this thing. And there's going to be these different group chats that are going to get, and you're going to be invited to certain parties. And there's going to be certain things happening. And there's going to be Thursday night in Tel Aviv. And there's going to be DJ Spicy Mayo playing a set. And best name ever. There's going to be some Tiesto concert somewhere or other. And you're going to get pulled in. They're telling my son, if they come, meaning, because they will, do not consent. Now the word chatoyim can be read in two ways. It could be read as if sinners come to you, or if sins come to you. It almost sounds like it's through people, or it's through an energy of sin coming to you. Al tavo. cease and desist. Do not go. Do not pass $200. Do not collect $200. Whatever it is. Don't go. Yeah.
Would that be for yourself as well, as opposed to like other people, other things being around your own, like it's your own.
Very much so. This is all talking about not only the people on the outside, but the forces on the inside. Everything that King Solomon is talking about is, remember, they're mashal. These are analogies. So the people on the outside will be analogous to that evil force on the inside in your consciousness. He says, don't listen. And then he actually pulls you in to a world. Now it's interesting. The Vilna Gaon on this has a very important kind of introduction to this. He says there's going to be people that will entice you to sin, and they're going to paint their offer as something that will be beneficial to you. They're not just, I'm going to get you to go into this. They're going to paint it as something that's going to be very good for you. You're going to enjoy this. There's going to be benefits, and they're going to make it in glowing terms. And they're going to ignore all the disgrace and the ugliness of this lifestyle. Because they want to pull you in. They have to have a good marketing strategy. And therefore, even before it begins, the Vilna Gaon says, Shlomo HaMelech is saying, don't even get into a back and forth here, because you're going to lose. If you know they're pushing you to something, and they say, yeah, Telly, Thursday night. So, by starting to, well, like, where are we going? Like, what did you guys have in mind? Meaning, if it's something good, then yeah, if something not, then they're like, oh, like we're gonna go do some Heter Kirov maybe. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds like maybe even a mitzvah. King Solomon is saying, very careful. If you already begin and they pull you in, they're going to make it seem very, very appealing. It's interesting that Shlomo HaMelech is mirroring the image and mirroring the words of his father. Who is the father of Shlomo HaMelech? King David, David HaMelech. What did David HaMelech say in the first of the Psalms? Anybody have a Tehillim here? A Tanakh? The first of the Psalms. What does King David say in Tehillim?
Praiseworthy is the one who will not in counsel for the foot.
Oh, let's go. Says David HaMelech. Ashrei Ha'ish. Praiseworthy is the man. This is the first opening line to all of King David's Psalms. Ashrei Ha'ish. Praiseworthy is the man Asher lo halach ba'atzas rishoyim, that does not go in the counsel of the wicked. Bless you. Ubederach hatoyim, and the way of those who sin, loy omad. He does not stand with them. Uvemoishav leitzim, and he does not sit with the leitzim, the people that just make light of everything. Lo yasha. Rather, what does he choose? Ki b'toiras Hashem chefza. It says, yeah, Thursday night, Mishmar, Rabbi Isai. Thursday night, Rabbi El Sant is delivering the goods. And Eish HaTorah. I want to be with those that have the Toiras Hashem Cheftzai. Uvesoirasa Yega Yoimam Valayla. If you stay with Torah, you're going to be going in the right path. Like I heard from Rav Willig's son, Rav Chaim Willig. It's always safer with a safer. It's a good one, right?
It's a good bar.
It's a good bar, right? It's always safer with a safer.
Rabbi, we gotta get you in the studio.
I'm saying that's from Chaim Willig. That's a good line. It's always safer with the safer. That's it. B'soirasa yege yomam valayla. Hashem, I'm living in the world of your Torah. Thank you very much. So mirroring this. Beni, im yifatucha chatoim, al tavoy. Don't go. So now we actually get into the enticement. He actually pulls us in verses 11 through 14. These 4 verses are going to be dark. They're going to be challenging. Because now we actually have you coming face to face with the enticer. And he's going to take you through this. And remember, the enticer is not something on the outside, it's something in here as well. These are all mishling. These are analogies that have thousands and thousands of levels of depth. So he begins. Im yoimru. And if they'll say to you, now we're in it. You're in the movie. L'chaitanu. Come with us, yeshiva guy. Come with us. And the guy's wearing some power suit or something. He looks very influential, looks successful. He's very suave.
Nice cologne.
Nice cologne. And he's saying, come with us. L'chaitanu. V'nerva l'dam. Wow. Come with us. This is intense. V'nerva l'dam. Let us go do a terrible thing and shed blood. Now, first of all, why did Shlomo HaMelech begin with the most intense example? Give me an example like go eat a Big Mac or something. Why is he going all the way to the most intense example?
He's trying to connect like they all, even the most like seemingly fine example can lead to this, or like spiritually has this impact in your life.
I believe so. And some of the Mefarshim say is that everything really could lead. When a person starts getting involved in bad behavior, he could go all the way. So he used the most intense example just to show you the necessity of saying no. And then he's going to sort of back up a little bit. But he makes it very intense. Nervo ladam, nitzpana lenaki chinam. Let us lurk for an innocent one, without cause. Let's go and find somebody that there's no reason why they should be hurt, and let's just do something cruel to them. This is literally as bad as it gets. And it's interesting, the criminals, their whole thing is to do some terrible thing and shed blood. But they say to them like this, you need not participate in the shedding of blood. Just join us. Just be part of this clan. So the voice inside says, you don't have to go actually do it. Just be with us. Just identify with the gang a little bit. Just put on the bandana or whatever. Rabbi Yonah says that this pasuk is talking about people who want to rob somebody. He lightens it. But then he explains that the Gemara says by robbing somebody, it's like shedding blood. Just hang out with us. Just be with us. And it's interesting because they're waiting in ambush, and it's specifically for somebody that hasn't done anything, an innocent person. Says the next verse. Shlomo Melech is pulling you into a bad scenario. Nivla'em kisha'ol chayim. Like the grave. Let us swallow them alive while they are whole. Usmimim kiyor devor. Like those descending to the pit. That Rashi here says, we'll just swallow him up. Innocently, just like a grave swallows them up. Rabbi Yonah continues that this is all speaking about robbery. That by robbing the victims of the wealth, we're going to make them non-existent like the dead. Usimimim kiyor devor. Look at verse 13 now. You're in the world of those that are plotting. Kol hoin yokar nimtza. We'll find all precious wealth. I mean, if you come with us, look what we'll get out of this. If you come with us, you're going to get part of the booty here. Nimale batenu shalal. We'll fill our houses with all this booty. The Malbim says that the hoin is talking about gold and silver, and the shalal is talking about all other things. That we're seeing here that one of the ways of criminals is that they'll go on an ambush, and then they'll take all the items, and then they'll split it up. And he ends this section by saying, Goyralcha. Look, cast your lot amongst us. Because look, you're going to make on the deal. Tapil b'seichenu, kis echad yelechulanu. Cast your lot amongst us. There will be one pouch for all of us. Now, what does this mean? The first part of the verse speaks about dividing up the spoils, while the latter part speaks about the communal purse. So Rashi says it's really two options. Either you can take a share of the spoils, or it will all become this common property that we'll have as this gang. And we'll make an account that puts it all together. Remember, these are all analogies. They also exist in the physical world. But there are certain ways that the Yetzer Hara comes to a person and he says, if you just join us, don't even get involved, just be with us, your lot will be amongst us. You're going to make on the deal. First, don't even get involved. Just be with us. You'll get a little bit of the pot. If you want, we'll directly give you some of the pot, or you'll be one with us. You'll be within our destiny. You'll have belonging. How many kids get involved in gangs because they feel that they have no feeling of belonging except being in the gang? Which is all coming from Shema b'ni Musar Avicha. Where were the parents? Al titosh Torah simecha. It's all being framed that if there's a healthy family, parent-child situation, which also be explained means what? What's Avicha? Torah. That Hashem gives us. What's Torah simecha? That was the minhagim of Am Yisrael. Once there's a connection to Am Yisrael, then I don't feel drawn after this gang. I have belonging. I'm part of something. I belong. So Rabbi said we should be mamish zoichem. You should know. This was, he pulled you in to the first part. And now Shlomo HaMelech, tomorrow, he's going to take us and he's going to show you how to now avoid them. So he took you into the back and forth, which really is something in your mind. So how do you respond to these four verses? So he's guiding us. Remember, this is Ladas Chachma Musar. He's going to guide us. We should be Zoich HaMamish, to have the absolute moral strength, to go with the words of King Solomon. We should be Zoich HaMamish, see the Binyan Beis HaMikdash, where peace will fill the world. B'mehera v'yameinu, amen v'amen. Call to Rabbi Stein. Have a wonderful day. One-on-ones.
What's tomorrow, Rabbi? What's tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, Rabbi Sai. Look.